Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the webinar for the Huawei FusionSolar Commercial and Industrial Solutions. I'm Jo Horsnell from SKE. I'm the UK Account Manager. I'm just going to give you a quick introduction about SKE and who we are, so you've got a good idea of what part we actually have in the role of supplier for Huawei in the UK. Okay, so SKE, what we are the VAP distributor for Huawei. We cover 15 countries in total. We've got 4 offices in Europe, United Kingdom, Austria, Croatia and Greece. We've got over 35 employees in over 6 countries. We've got 3 warehouses. We have a warehouse in the UK that we have full UK stock. And we carry probably up to 250 megawatts of Huawei in stock at any one time. We have our distribution partners in the UK, which are CGen, Midsummer, Alt Energy and CCL. We also we have a full website with full data sheets, technical training, support videos. Anything that you might need, you can go to the SKE website and all the information will be on there. We also will be implementing a partner program in the UK in the coming months, and more information regarding that will be available quite soon. We also have a roadshow that's due to start this year. The vehicle will be arriving in August. So please do watch out for that. He will be touring around the UK to various locations. And I'll just show you a couple of images with regards to the bus and what it looks like. And we'll keep everyone updated on the locations as more planning progresses on that. We was going to have a presentation from Huawei today, but unfortunately there's been some technical issues. So I'll pass straight over to Mihai, who is our technical guy for the UK for SKE, and he will start the webinar for you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jo. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. Let me share my screen. In today's presentation, we will be talking mostly about commercial and industrial PV solutions from Huawei. I would please, if you have any questions during the presentation, send via the chat on the main screen to all the participants, or use the Q&A button. One of my colleagues will answer the questions during the presentation, and at the end we will also have a Q&A session, and I will go through some of the most requested questions. Going straight into the presentation, a little bit about the design of Huawei inverters. Thanks to Huawei's great experience in the telecommunication field and power electronics, Huawei as a company is an expert in cooling. Specifically passive cooling. We sold over 130 gigawatts of PV inverters and millions of telecommunication products using technology like this to achieve the most efficient and easiest to use thermal cooling using our heatsink design. The benefit of this is that the inverters are more efficient, and you also have a maintenance-free design, which is a big advantage. Thanks to the use of multiple MPPTs for our inverter, it is much easier to handle inconsistencies caused, for example, by shadows, dust, dirt, tolerance mismatch of PV modules, and of course thermal mismatch. Our smallest inverters in the commercial range start from 2 MPPTs with 2 strings per MPPT all the way up to 10 MPPTs with 2 strings per MPPT. Another nice feature is that we have a fuseless design, so it's not mandatory to use fuses on the DC side. This is thanks to the fact that the MPPTs, which can handle 2 strings, can tolerate the reverse current, for example. So it is not mandatory to use them. Some disadvantages of using fuses is that aging is very prevalent because of the environment. And because of failures, it can lead to fires, for example. And of course, it's an additional cost. Thanks to our design, this is not necessary to use. A feature that our inverters have is the IV curve function, which allows to find up to 14 different types of module errors. And this was tested by TUV. Some of the errors which can be found on the DC side are hotspots, potential induced degradation, and short circuit of diodes. The scan is extremely quickly, and you can find out from a full report the health of the DC side of your PV system. Most of our inverters in the commercial range are equipped with potential induced degradation recovery module. This has the benefit of preventing this effect from happening and also healing the PV modules. In time, the modules will lose efficiency because of this effect. But by having this module, which works during the nighttime and consumes only 5 watts of power, you can prevent this from happening, and you will have great benefit during the lifetime of the PV plant. This anti-PID module is included in the inverter itself, so no need for extra devices. So the three-phase residential have it, the smallest in the commercial range, 12 up to 20 kilowatts, and also the 30 up to 40 KTL, the M2 and M3 series. So this is included in the inverter. If you don't want to use it, you can disable this function. If you want to use it, it's included without any additional cost. And no retrofit is necessary in case maybe you don't want to use it in the beginning, but along the way you want to implement this function. Since safety is a big concern in the PV industry, our inverters are also capable of detecting electric arc faults on the DC side. As you can imagine, these are very dangerous because they can cause fires. The way Huawei's method of detecting these electric arc faults is by using artificial intelligence. And in case something is wrong and you have an arc on the DC side, which is not self-extinguishing, the inverter can detect it, and in less than 2 seconds, it will turn off the inverter, thus preventing any risk of fire. This feature is very precise. It's one of the best on the market. And we have an intelligent algorithm for detecting these electric arcs, and it has a self-learning feature in order to use big data. In regards to commissioning, all the devices connected to the inverters are automatically detected. The commissioning is done in 4 steps, and it's very easy to achieve. For our commercial systems up to 40 kilowatts, it is also possible to use optimizers, either full optimizers on all the PV modules only partial optimizers on some modules which have a disadvantage. Here you can see an image on how the commissioning is done. And if you implement these optimizers, you can you will have high flexibility for your systems because you can implement it in complex and shaded roofs. This is how an optimizer looks like. It acts like a module level MPPT. It is compatible with L1, M1, M2, and the M3 series, so all the way up to 40 kilowatt inverters. And they are compatible with modules up to 450 watts. Benefits of using these optimizers is that you can have the maximum gain of energy. We estimate that you can have up to 30% higher yield depending on conditions. So the module can be maximum 450 watts and have an open circuit voltage of 80 volts. These optimizers have a warranty of 25 years. We will begin the commercial inverter presentation from now on by focusing on the M2 and M3 series. So the smallest in our commercial range of inverters is the Sun 2012 KTL M2. And here we have 4 different power ranges, so 15, 17, and 20. As you can see, the design is very compact. There are no LCD screens. The same idea with zero touch maintenance, so as little maintenance as possible. All the connections are done on the bottom of the inverter. No need to open anything up or use complicated coupling solutions. In regards to communication with the monitoring platform, you can use dongles, the WLAN dongle or the 4G dongle in case you don't have a router. These PV plants that use these types of inverters can be monitored in our free-to-use monitoring platform, which is called FusionSolar. And we just launched a new version 7.0. All our inverters have DC and AC surge protectors to protect against overvoltage. The inverters are IP65. These inverters have AFCI. They are compatible with optimizers. They have 2 MPPTs, and they have that PID module integrated already. So you can use potential induced degradation protection. Some electrical characteristics. All our inverters are capable of producing 10% more. So we can see the apparent power of 13.2. All the 4 models you can see here. They have 2 MPPTs and 2 strings per MPPT. So a total of 4 strings per inverter. Communication is done through the WLAN dongle or the 4G dongle. To connect a power meter to these inverters, you use RS485. The optimizers communicate using MBus, power line communication. They are very light, 25 kilograms, so it's easy to install them. High range for temperature, AFCI included, residual current monitoring unit. It's integrated in the inverter. All our inverters have this feature. And type 2 surge arresters on the AC side and on the DC side. The warranty by default is 10 years. You can extend up to 25 years if you want to. Our M3 series, they have powers from 30, 36, and 40 kilowatts. They have high efficiency. A feature is that they have 4 MPPTs, 2 strings per MPPT gives us 8 strings per inverter. MPPT voltage range, an IP rating 66. It can handle high DC current modules, and the design is also compact, and it's light compared to its power output. So an overview: compact design, IP66, AC DC surge protectors, compatible with the requirements from UK, so the G99 requirements, 4 independent MPPTs. These inverters are also compatible with optimizers, fuseless design, and they can also communicate with our smart logger, which is another device used for communication, using power line communication. So some main characteristics: number of MPPTs 4, 2 strings per MPPT gives us a total of 8. Maximum voltage that an MPPT can handle on the DC side is 1100 volts. Communication, the same options, using WLAN dongle with Ethernet or 4G dongle. Communication with the power meter for S485. And you also have the M-bus power line communication. These inverters are also compatible with, compatible with optimizers. Another model of inverter is the N0, the 60 KTL M0. Here you can see that the design is it's a little bit different. Here we have the maintenance compartment, and here we have the part with power electronics, which cannot be opened. All the electrical connections are done here in the maintenance compartment. And here we have the module for communication. Some features: 6 MPPTs, integrated DC and AC surge protectors. You can use 4G dongles, so no more WLAN, but you can have 4G dongles. You can use, for all our inverters, you can monitor them remotely using our FusionSolar monitoring platform. IP65, no need for fuses. Standard warranty of these inverters is 5 years. 6 MPPTs, 12 strings per inverter, maximum input voltage 1100 volts per MPPT, output 400 volts. It's IP65, weighs 74 kilograms, and integrated AC and DC surge protectors. All our inverters have these features, so all of them have surge protectors, and they are compatible with the requirements from UK. Now, the largest inverter from the commercial series is the 100 KTL. Again, compact design. Here on the side, you have the maintenance compartment where you can do the AC connections. All the DC connections are done here on the bottom. Very high efficiency, 10 MPPTs per inverter, a total of 20 strings can be connected to it. MPPT voltage range, you can see it here. It is IP66, high DC current, so maximum input current per MPPT is 26 amps. Compact design, and it's relatively light to its output capacity of 100 kilowatts. most of these features we discussed. Please keep in mind that we can also have this M-bus communication. So the inverters can communicate with each other without using RS485 cables, but this is for larger PV plants and mostly ground-mounted PV plants that use these inverters. As a standard warranty, it is 5 years. Maximum AC output power is 1,110 kilowatts. So this is the apparent power. At a power factor of 1 can output the same power. I reiterate, 10 MPPTs, 20 strings in total, maximum DC input 1,100 volts, 90 kilograms, it's IP66, and communication with the monitoring platform is also done with the 4G dongle, or you can use another device which is called the smart logger. We have some presentation slides for these devices as well. So getting to the communication with the monitoring platform, the ways that the inverter can communicate with FusionSolar, this is the name of our monitoring platform, is to use these dongles. So we have the WLAN dongle with fast Ethernet, so you can connect your inverter to the router via cable, or you can use a 4G dongle, but for this you need a SIM card which is inserted in this dongle. For the residential inverters, you have the dongles, WLAN dongles included in the package. For the commercial inverters, which we are talking about today, you need to buy them, purchase them separately. You can have a maximum of 10 inverters cascaded and use only one of these dongles to create a PV plant and to monitor the progress of all of these inverters, the same PV plant. We can also provide power meters. So for commercial applications, we have the free phase, which is the DTSU 666H, 250 amps maximum output current for all of the inverters. It has a high measurement accuracy. You can monitor self-consumption, import of power on our monitoring platform if you have this power meter connected. You can connect the power meter to the inverter by using RS485 cable. For easier commissioning, these power meters are automatically recognized by the inverter and added during the commissioning phase. For more complex configurations, when you have more than 10 inverters, you can use this device, which is called the smart logger. And it has a lot of really nice features. So its main purpose is to make the connection between the inverters and the monitoring platform. So you can create a PV plant and monitor everything through this smart logger. So I recommend using the smart logger when you have more than 10 inverters in a PV plant. It can handle a maximum of 80 inverters, and it has free communication ports where you can add these inverters. Per each communication port, you can have 30 inverters. So, and for all three of them, you can have a maximum of 80. You also have digital inputs. You have Ethernet interface. You have configuration with HTML website and app. So you can connect with your laptop to it, or you can connect with your mobile phone using our FusionSolar app. It's very easy to commission a big PV plant using this smart logger. Again, it's a matter of minutes. because it can allocate physical addresses really easily, and you can do settings and parameterization in batch. So it becomes really easy to configure large PV plants using this smart logger. Other nice features would be email notification, FTP push function, and for communication protocols, you have Modbus RTU and Modbus TCP. We have two versions of the smart logger, the 03 and the 01. The 03 allows communication via the power cables between the inverters. So there is no need to have RS485 cables. The smart logger 3000A01, you can only make the inverters communicate if you use RS485 cables between each inverter. Both our inverters, both these smart loggers, you have two ways to connect to the internet. Either you use a SIM card, you see here 2G, 3G, 4G. Either via Ethernet you connect to a router and you send information to the monitoring platform. Other features, you have 4 digital inputs, 2 digital outputs, and 4 analogical inputs. You have active digital output of 12 volts and 100 milliamps. You have Modbus TCP protocol and IEC 104. And for southbound, so communication with inverters, you use the Modbus RTU protocol or the IEC 103 protocol. The rating of the smart logger is IP20, so it cannot be installed outdoors. You need to install it inside some premises. Once you do the physical connection using one of these methods, so either one of the two dongles or the smart logger, you are able to create a PV plant on our monitoring platform, which is free to use. Looks something like this. And here you can see different PV plants created on our monitoring platform. And you have an overview of all the PV plants, real-time alarms, so it's very easy to monitor all the PV plants in your portfolio. So we have a one-fits-all solution. Besides the PV modules and the other balance of system components, for the AC side, you can purchase everything from Huawei. So we have the optimizers, storage, inverters, the app, which is free to use. All of this manufactured by Huawei and sold by Huawei. In case you want to contact us, please don't hesitate to do so. So I'm Mihai. I'm the technical sales manager for UK and Ireland and Eastern Europe. My colleague Joanne, which presented some information about SKE, she's the account manager for UK and Ireland, so don't hesitate to contact her as well for commercial inquiries. And unfortunately, Mr. Michael Ray from Huawei couldn't join us today because of some technical difficulties, but I'm sure that for future presentations, we will also have him on. In fact, I see he's connected. Just allow me to invite him, and he can say a few words about Huawei and about SKE's connection with Huawei. And afterwards, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask us. And I will try to clarify if there were some points that were not so well explained. Okay, 1 second, and Mr. Ray will be able to also join. Hello, Michael. Thanks for joining.
Hi, Mihai. Yeah, thanks for making me a panelist. Apologies, everyone. I've had some major technical issues joining the webinar today, so I've had to join on my phone. I think, the main point today was to go through the product presentation and the introduction to SKE. I think I'll just take a minute to talk a little bit about Huawei. I'll have to do this without slides, unfortunately. But really, just to give a little bit of background on Huawei, we're a huge global organization. We've had phenomenal growth over the last 30 years, and the revenues we posted last year were $137 billion. So, we're a strong, financially stable organization with global presence, and we're privately owned as well. And that private ownership is really important because it means we can decide where to invest the money that the company turns over. And a lot of that investment goes into research and development, over 60 billion in the last 10 years. And that allows us to invest in research and development and to bring competitive technology to the market, such as we've talked about today as well. We are a global company, but we do have local support as well. So we've got a 20-year track record in the UK market. We're fully committed to the UK market. We have an HQ in Reading, 5 R&D centres here, and around 1,000 staff, including a dedicated digital energy team. So a lot of that R&D resource is dedicated to digital energy as we move towards becoming a greener society. And obviously this is an area where Huawei has vast experience in a number of different areas. So telecom power is really where Huawei cuts its teeth in providing operators all over the world with reliable power and backup solutions for their mobile and broadband networks. And then seeing the upsurge in data centers 10 years ago, Huawei expanded its offerings to provide critical power solutions such as uninterruptible power supplies. And we've developed the latest smart lithium-ion technology that we're using in those data center applications as well. That crosses over into our digital EV business. So we've launched our first car in China in conjunction with a manufacturer called BAIC. And Huawei is providing the power, the charging, and the battery management system for EVs as well. And again, that technology crosses over with what we're doing in PV, where over 5 years ago, we entered that PV market with a string solution for utility scale solar farms. And since then, we've deployed over 118 gigawatts globally. So, bringing all of that expertise and technology together, an experience that we have in power, in communications, in artificial intelligence, in clouds that you've seen today from Mihai, Huawei is able to offer utility, commercial and residential PV solutions, which are highly efficient, and they're safe, most importantly, they're reliable, and they're easy to install and manage. And we're bringing this technology to the UK market, working with our value-added partner and certified service partner of the highest tier, which is SKE. Through the distributors that you saw in Joe's slides earlier on, and then providing you, the installers, with pre-sales, post-sale support and training as well. And this webinar is one of a series that we're doing over the next few weeks, and the roadshow later in the summer, which Joe mentioned earlier on, to showcase the technology, increase awareness of the brand and the technology that we're bringing, and obviously knowledge for you, the installers, as well. So that's all for me. I hope you found it a useful session today, and apologies that I wasn't able to join with my slides.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks a lot. To wrap this up, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. So I see that not many questions were asked. If later on you need some clarification about any topic, please don't hesitate to contact either myself or my colleague Joe, and we will be happy to provide an answer and a solution. So don't hesitate to contact us if you need help with correct design of a PV plant, if you need help with certification, any technical question, please don't hesitate to contact us.
Thank you, Mihai. Thank you, Michael. If anyone's got any questions, please obviously put them on the Q&A, or you can email me or Mihai directly. That's everything for today, and thank you for joining the webinar.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.